Australia's cracking down on addictive social media, passing their first ever social media ban for people under age 16. Here's the scoop. Today's article comes from The Hill, and it says Australia has passed a first ever social media ban for youth, barring children under the age of 16 from using the platforms. The Australian Senate passed the legislation Thursday night with bipartisan backing. Hey there, thanks for clicking on the video. If you're enjoying what you're hearing, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell for notifications. Now, let's get back to the scoop. The law will impact social media platforms including Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, X, and Reddit, but it will not be enforced for YouTube. The companies are the only ones responsible for enforcing the restriction, and if they fail to do so after 1 year, they could face fines of up to $32 million. Quote, we know social media is doing social harm, end quote, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said in a statement a week ago. Quote, we want Australian children to have a childhood, and we want parents to know the government is in their corner, end quote. Quote, this is a landmark reform. We know some kids will find workarounds, but we're sending a message to social media companies to clean up their act, end quote, he added. The bill was introduced last week into the parliament and only 1 day was allowed to send in opinions about the legislation. Supporters of the bill have argued it would protect kids from the harmful hazards of social media and preserve their mental health. It had backing both from Albanese's Australian Labor Party and was most supported by the opposing Liberal Party. A YouGov poll released this week found that 77% of Australians support the restriction, which is an increase from 61% in August. Critics argued the ban is too draconian and that lawmakers have failed to consider the positive traits of social media. Platforms have pleaded to delay the passage of the legislation to have enough time to evaluate the consequences of the restriction. Quote, it's a race to the bottom to try and pretend who could be the toughest, and all they end up with is pushing young people into further isolation and giving the platforms the opportunity to continue the free for all because now there's no social responsibility required, end quote. Australian Senator Sarah Hanson-Young said, according to CNN. Quote, we need to make social media safer for everybody. End quote. So, guys, what do you think about this? Do you think this is a good move on Australia's part to ban social media for people under the age of 16? Do you guys think it's going to work? It's not for YouTube. Again, this ban is not for YouTube, it's just for Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, X, and Reddit. And the companies are going to be the ones responsible for enforcing the restriction. It's not going to be the parents, it's going to be the companies. And so if they fail to enforce the restrictions after 1 year, they could face fines of up to $32 million. Do you guys think that's enough money? I mean, $32 million to Meta, to Instagram, which is Meta, Reddit, X. I mean, is that a lot of money? I don't really think so, but maybe. I don't know. What do you guys think? Um, do you think this is going to do more harm than good? I know I looked at a couple of articles on this and they were talking about how certain groups of kids feel like they can only have community online or they find their support online and not in person. It's harder for them to do so. Uh, do you guys believe that? Or do you feel like this is going to do more good than harm because kids won't be online, comparing themselves to one another, bullying one another, and wanting to potentially take their own lives or off themselves because of what they're seeing or hearing online. Do the pros outweigh the cons here, or do the cons outweigh the pros here? Let me know what you guys think below in the comments. I can't wait to read them, and I will see you next time.